An Antelope has done it again in Nigeria, trying to obstruct the free flow of the airlines. This happened in Asaba, allegedly, though it was noticed afterwards as there were splashes of blood on the airplane when it had landed in Abuja. But the shocking thing is that the minister has the effrontery to come out and claim that instead of taking responsibility, claimed that it wasn't under their watch. That is fine. Said it wasn't through the minister, says it wasn't under their watch, that the Asaba airport is being managed by private company, totally managed by private company. What a shame. Can't you take responsibility? Then, are you not the regulatory body? I mean, this callousness, not taking responsibilities of issues that has to do with human life, has become a norm. And until we start shouting about it, then, now they are talking about fencing because something has happened. An antelope, how did an antelope have access to the runway? When you talk now, people will say, oh, you don't like the government, or you are jealous, or something like that. Well, remember, we're talking about airplane here. Really, I wasn't so good with this kind of explanations, especially when it has to do with this magnitude of unwarranted accident. To leave these politicians to do what they want, one day we will not have nowhere to really reside or to go or to call our own. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please like, share, and comment. Criticism is allowed, but this time, please don't abuse me.
Nigeria. The aircraft collided with, wait for it, an antelope, not on safari, on the runway in Asaba, Delta State. The incident sparked confusion online, with some claiming it happened at the Abuja airport. But Nigeria's Federal Airport Authority says it didn't happen on their watch, but at the privately managed Asaba airport in Delta State. A claim the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development reiterates in an exclusive with Arise News.
It's not everything that happens at every airport that you blame the federal government. Asaba Airport is a private airport, in fact owned by the Delta State government and then concessioned again to a private individual. So Asaba Airport is fully run by a private company. It's not even under the purview of the state government. They just own the facility. And so whatever has happened there, really, as regulators, the NCA, we are just regulators, we'll look into it. If there was inadequate fencing, then they will recommend and ensure that that is done. But it's obvious that there was some kind of lapse there for such an animal to be able to access a runway.
It's the Nigerian thing. Globally, wildlife has been crashing the aviation party for years. In New Zealand, a penguin waddled in to take off. In Alaska, it's caribou. In Florida, alligators. And in Milan, what else? Hares. At JFK Airport, diamondback turtles use the runway as a romantic hotspot. Yes, turtle tinder is a thing. These intrusions can cause real danger. Bird strikes alone cost airlines hundreds of millions yearly globally. So airports are getting creative. Lasers, fake distress calls, and even pigs. A pig patrol has been recruited by one of Europe's busiest airports to keep the birds away. But back to Nigeria, where this isn't the first time animals have taken on an unscheduled runway stroll. In 2019, a herd delayed a flight in Bauchi, and in 2021, it was goats in Akure, Ondo State. So what's being done? The Federal Airport Authority says they're not in charge of the Asaba runway, where the latest incident occurred. Across Nigeria, there have been talks of fencing, patrols, and wildlife monitoring being ramped up. How impactful and how far with those measures?
But beyond that, as a general rule, we are also taking the fencing of our airports very seriously. Not only because of that incident, we have also noticed a couple of incidents, many of them, of course, most of them not fatal, across the country. And that is why in the next couple of days, I'm sure you will be briefed. Part of what we are doing with trying to assess the Renewed Hope Fund is the fencing of our major airports, especially the international airports, so that we don't embarrass the international airlines that are coming in. So for Lagos, Abuja, Kano, Enugu, and Port Harcourt, we are taking that very seriously. We are not just doing fencing, we are going to do a very electronic fencing, not just the normal block and cement, like this kind of smart fencing.
Sure, passengers are used to flight delays due to weather, technical issues, even late crew. But try explaining that you were delayed by an Antelope with no boarding pass. Adesua Omoruwan, Arise News.